do you know? Asking your church for a $1,000 watch and then throwing a hissy fit when you didn't get it as a pastor may not be the smartest idea in today's viral internet culture, especially if you're live streaming all your sermons online. Recently, a pastor had to come out and apologize for the way he spoke about his own church not getting him something that he felt he deserved. Pastors appreciate... I didn't even know that was a thing. Is that a thing? I mean, I know we have Mother's Day, Father's Day, there's Pastor Appreciation Day where you gotta buy your pastor things. Okay, never mind. So in this video, we'll be reacting to the original clip, the apology, and tackling the question on if gifts for your pastor is the way you're supposed to show your appreciation for God.
Ruslan.
I want to start out by saying I think most pastors are probably overworked and underpaid. I think most pastors probably deserve a raise if their church can afford to give them one. I think being a pastor as your vocation full-time is one of the most stressful jobs there are. And this is not me attempting to dunk on pastors or people who make money off of ministry, vocational ministry, anything like that. It's not the heart of this video. However, this clip, I think, is worth discussing for the macro conversation. We're gonna react to it, then we're gonna react to his apology, give you guys some of my thoughts. So let's jump right in.
I'm not worth your McDonald's money. Come on, come on. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci.
Why is he assuming all these folks got all this designer stuff in his church? It don't look like it's that big of a church.
You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters.
He calls them his cheap sons and daughters. He thinks he's their spiritual father.
I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here. Y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all. I'm over your cheap expressions.
He's upset, man. He's mad. He feels like they should have got him this $1,000 watch. I think it's about a $1,000 watch. And yeah, he didn't get the watch. And he's upset about that. Okay, now, again, I am someone that's bought my pastor Christmas presents before. I think I bought my pastor a pair of Jordans before, right? There's anything wrong with getting something nice for your pastor or someone that you view as a mentor or a spiritual authority or whatever. However, I think carrying yourself in this way as a pastor is extremely wild and problematic for a variety of reasons, okay? Let's play his apology first, and then I'll give you guys some of my thoughts on it.
No context.
Totally different temperament in this part of the conversation. He's completely different, right? He's totally different on this side.
Text will suffice to explain the hurt and anguish caused by my words. I have spoken to those I am accountable to and have received their correction and instruction. I have also privately apologized to our church, who has extended their love and support to me. I'm privileged to do life with them. The video clip does not reflect my heart or my sentiments toward God's people, yet that's not discernible in the clip.
I'll be curious, how old is this gentleman? He looks like he's in his late 20s, maybe, early 30s.
Therefore, I offer this sincere apology to you today. No context could erase the words I used. I apologize to all who have been hurt, angered, or in any way damaged by my words.
I think that if you as a pastor have luxury taste and desire to wear designer brands, Gucci, Louis, $1,000 watches, Rolexes, whatever, I don't think there's anything wrong with you liking nice things, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with someone liking nice things. However, if the pressure of this is going to be placed on the back of your congregation, this might be a wild thought for some of you guys, right? But I think in these sorts of cases, if you have to go and ask your congregation for things, nice things, I think as a pastor, you may want to consider being bivocational. I think there's a lot of great pastor friends I have that are bivocational, right? That work a full-time job and also pastor on the side. That maybe they have even some side hustles, right? If you want those things and you're pastoring a church that's a small church, you're pastoring a church where there's folks that are coming from poverty, all of these different things, you may want to, at the very least, have a side business or a job or something you're doing where you're not attempting to compel them or make them give to you compulsively. And the scriptures are clear that we are to be generous. We are to have an open-handed mentality, that giving is good. However, being compulsed to give, giving in a way where you feel shame or guilt because your pastor wanted something nice. It's not even like, hey, the electricity bill is turned off in the church. Like, this is strictly a luxury item that he desires. If you are going to have designer taste, then you should have a designer skill set that could provide your designer taste in whatever else you want. Because leading a church is hard. And a lot of churches fail. And a lot of pastors are overworked. And there's nothing wrong with having your skill set that makes it so you're not 150% dependent on your church having to get you the nice things, right? Now, this pastor, I think, honestly, this to me was a sign of someone that was just probably immature. Based on the way he looks, this brother's probably in his late 20s, early 30s. You guys know how I feel about brothers jumping into ministry too early and positioning themselves as elders, especially folks that haven't met the requirements of being an elder, running their own household, living above reproach, being sound in doctrine, right? Hopefully we're familiar with those passages. If you're not, you should be. Hopefully, if this is the position that he's in, this is just an overflow of his immaturity and the way we do church in America in a lot of ways, where there is no type of transitional authority, there is no formal training. Folks can just call themselves a pastor and they are what they are. And because they're charismatic, because they're funny, because they can communicate well, they assume that their role then is to be a lead church pastor and not necessarily serve somewhere, go get trained, educated, all that kind of good stuff. So there's a lot of layers to this thing, but that would be my advice to someone like this. Man, if you really want this nice watch, hey man, go watch some different videos on how to learn other side hustles so that you can have more revenue, so you could go buy yourself that nice watch. If your church decides to buy you a nice watch because they decided, the elders or the deacons decided, man, pastor's been working really hard, we haven't really been compensating him a lot, it's been a small church, and they decide, this is why elder-led churches are ideal, this is why you need deacons and elders around you, and they decide that they want to bless their pastors, that's different. But compulsively trying to make them get you a watch, I think is just so out of pocket, and I think he knows that at this point. I think he apologized for it and did the best, but the true measurement of an apology, is he going to now course correct and go a different direction with the way he communicates and the way he says these sorts of things, or is this going to remain the same? If you guys want to see a video that I just put out with a friend of mine to give you some practical tips on how you can increase, how you can make more money if that's what you desire, there's a video right here with my buddy Ryan Pineda, who went from making very little money as a minor league baseball player to making over $8,000 a month flipping couches, to then making a massive splash where he is making over $3 million a month running multiple businesses, and he loves Jesus. And this is nitty gritty if you're trying to win financially. That video will be over here. I'll see you over there. Peace.